I'm Avery Kelley here at True Star, and we are here with the DJ Annie Red. How are you today?
What's up? Thank you. I'm good.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited to have her, and I know that you guys are so excited. We're going to be sitting here having a nice conversation today. You are here from New York.
Yeah.
How are you feeling to be here in Chicago?
Oh, it feels really nice. I love the vibe here.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I know I don't like the weather here right now because it wants to be super duper rainy, but I'm glad that you're here with us, and I'm glad that I have the chance to speak with you. As everybody should know, you are a fantastic DJ. And when I say fantastic, I mean like top of the bar. And you're
I'm flattered.
And you're only how old?
I'm 13.
Oh my gosh. So 13 years old, a fantastic DJ, anti-bullying advocate. You are an author. There's so much that you're doing. And the first thing that I want to be able to talk to you about is your DJing.
Yeah.
How did you get your start? When did you get started? And how did you learn?
Yeah, so I started DJing at like 6 years old. My dad was a DJ, so I kind of took a little bit from him. He taught me. Once my parents saw that I was serious, like, okay, you want to do this? I went to a DJ school in Manhattan called Scratch Academy. And I went there, and I was the youngest graduate there. So I graduated like at 7 years old.
Okay.
So it was really fun. And yeah, that's where I started. So I've been doing this for a little bit.
Wow, I can see. I mean, first off, being the youngest graduate at 7 years old, I just have to say that's like really dope. I know the main thing that I was probably doing at 7 years old was dancing to my dad's Pandora playlist on the way to dance class. So for you to be a DJ at that time is so awesome. And you've just continued to grow. How would you say you've grown as a DJ from your 7-year-old Scratch Academy graduate days to now?
So I think for me, I think I've definitely improved in skill. Like watching the videos of me DJing from that age, it's like really cringy to me. Like everything in general, like it was just like moving on. But I think now I'm a lot more confident. I'm DJing at a lot more places, and you know, really getting myself out there. So I think that's one of the biggest improvements for me, and it's just really fun. I think the thing that hasn't changed is my passion for it.
Yeah.
It's only continued to grow, and I really do enjoy DJing. I think confidence plays a big role in it. I think being able to have confidence in yourself can only reciprocate on others. So when I'm enjoying, if I'm at a party or you know DJing at the Brooklyn Nets, for example, if I'm excited, if I'm happy, if I have a smile on my face, and I'm trying to get everyone else hyped, it's only going to be easier. So I think confidence plays a big role.
I can see it. And when you are out there doing your thing, you can just see the confidence radiating off of you. And you can see that you're having a really good time. I mean, I want to be having that much fun. And I know people are when they are listening to all of the music that you were playing. And what would you say, and I know this may be a little tricky question, what would you say have been one of your favorite opportunities that you've gotten with DJing so far? I know that may be a little bit hard.
That's a big question. I think I'm going to give 2 experiences probably. Definitely the biggest experience for me was the Brooklyn Nets, playing basketball myself. I think it was very surreal for me to come and see and really be on the court and be around a team and really seeing how this whole production works. I mean, like being in the meetings right before the games, it's like everything is set. Like from the first timeout after or during the game to halftime, it's just like really crazy. So seeing that whole aspect is definitely inspiring for me. And then being on the court and DJing in front of 18,000 people, it's like it's really crazy. And I think a lot of people would be nervous, but to me it kind of just gives me life. Like I get really excited,
like energy.
I feel the energy coming on me. But I think that's probably one of my greatest moments. And then recently, meeting Nick Cannon and being on Nick Cannon's show. Recently, that was very fun. Such a great energy, such a great vibe. I really did enjoy that. So I think those are my top 2 greatest experiences. I have more, but if I had to narrow it down, definitely those 2.
Who would you say are some artists that you love to play or that you really like listening to or that honestly just inspire you?
I think, that's a big question. I think mostly in general with songs, especially like in the Brooklyn Nets Stadium, definitely upbeat songs.
Yeah.
So usually like a lot of pop songs. I think songs for the arena that like super fast songs, definitely like pop. So Dua Lipa, I played a lot of her songs at the stadium.
Dua Lipa.
in terms of personal music, hip hop because I'm from New York. So definitely in terms of hip hop, I like a lot of old school people. In terms of new school, I'm gonna sound a little bit generic, but Drake doesn't really miss.
He doesn't. He hits every single time.
It's very generic, but I'd say Drake. Old school, I would say Slick Rick. Definitely Slick Rick, Queen Latifah. Yeah. Definitely them hitting at the women, a little bit. And I'd say that's for old school. And R&B, SZA, Summer Walker, definitely hits. And pop, Lil Nas X, not even just music in general. I think for what he's done for himself off the music scene, I think it was definitely different. So I definitely give props to him. But I'm all over the place when it comes to music, but definitely old school hip hop. And for the stadium, pop. So.
Oh, I see that we got a little bit of similar music taste because I know for me, 90s R&B and hip hop is like my favorite genre ever. Like I know that like R&B and hip hop are like separate, but 90s is
they come together.
Yeah, they come together. And
a lot of artists do both. So
yeah, and 90s, it's its own separate thing. Like it deserves like its own little museum, which I know is out there.
I agree.
Yeah, so I totally feel you on that, and I know that when it comes down to pop, it is a lot more upbeat. So of course, like when
people get more hype,
and people are gonna get up and dance because like it's a fun, upbeat. So I love how you can feel the vibe and feel the energy of the place that you're in, and just be able to translate that to your music. So that's something that I think is absolutely awesome. Huge props to you for good ear that you have. And so something else that you mentioned, you do basketball as well, correct?
Yeah.
How long have you been doing that for?
Like I'd say seriously, like really like trying to get at it, like 3 years.
Oh, okay.
But I'd say messing around like 4 years.
Oh, okay. So that kind of leads me into my next question. We all know that you are a huge DJ on the scene, but off the scenes, what are some things that you like to do personally in your social life?
That's a good question. So social life, I like hanging out with my friends. I'm a very social person, so I like getting out there, hanging out with my friends, talking to people. TikTok, all social media, getting a TikTok. I like building Legos. I have a Lego collection at home.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, so that's one of my hobbies. I'm into fashion, so dressing, putting outfits together, I like that. And also collecting sneakers. I'm a little bit of a sneakerhead. So that's definitely things I like to do in my free time. Play video games, 2K, all of that. And watching movies, relaxing, and definitely like just relaxing, taking some time to myself, relaxing and just chilling.
Yeah, because you're working in what you love, but at the same time, you gotta
it's work.
Yeah, it's still work. So you gotta take a little step back, do some other things that you enjoy. One thing that I love that you mentioned is the Lego collection. That is awesome.
It's really fun. It's really therapeutic for me to just like build sets. It's time consuming, but it's fun.
How big are like some of the sets that you have?
Probably the most recent set I built was a Lego guitar. It was like 2,200 pieces or something crazy like that. So that's probably my recent set, but yeah, I just have a collection and it's growing. So
yeah, oh my gosh, that is awesome. Like I had to make sure that I put that out there because I kid you not, I had this entire Lego brick. It was like this pink Lego brick and it had a bunch of Legos inside.
Oh yeah, I've seen those before.
Yeah, I had one of those and I loved doing it. So I think that that's so awesome. I had to put that out there.
And now Lego, like, it used to be like, oh, you just build like little sets. And now it's like 18 plus sets, like sets for adults. It's really fun.
And I love that you're also separating the work life from the personal life as well.
Yeah, you need a break sometimes. Everyone needs a break.
Yeah, a little balance, which I think is awesome that you have. And one thing that I really want to be able to mention and talk about is all of the anti-bullying work that you have been doing. How did that come about, and why is it so important to you?
So I think it really came about, was really my own personal experience. I dealt with bullying myself. So it was really important for me to not have kids go through what I went through because of how it felt. It's easy to feel alone, and bullying even to the worst extent, which is suicide. And I want to try to prevent that as much as I can. So I was bullied because of my voice and because of the way I carried myself. I was always like athletic and wanted to play. And at summer camps, for example, play, basketball and soccer with the kids. So, and especially other boys. And they're like, you're a girl, like, why are you playing with me? Stuff like that. So it was a hard experience for me. But my main thing was I didn't really want kids to go through what I went through. And it could be very, very hard. And I'm lucky enough to have thick skin and supportive parents. But not every kid has that.
Yeah.
So that really started from my own personal experience. And then I wrote my song. And from the song came the book. And now I just go around to schools, like I'm in Chicago for, going around to schools and speaking about bullying to convey the message that kids shouldn't bully and that they can become anti-bullying activists themselves.
Yeah, most definitely. And I love how you're just constantly putting the message out there that you should still be unapologetically yourself, because you're unapologetically yourself. What was like that initial thought that made you like, oh yes, this is definitely a way that I am going to spread this anti-bullying message?
So definitely from DJing. I mean, before the anti-bullying song came out, I already had a song out. So I've always had a passion for music in terms of especially DJing and growing up in New York in the hip hop scene. So really just that general, connection that I always had. A lot of and also especially a lot of the music now that we hear and in past years is very like vulgar and very explicit songs. So trying to convey positive messages in my songs that I want other kids to hear is definitely what I try to do in general. So being able to have, a positive song and a catchy chorus, because when you hear that song on the radio, whenever, or on TikTok especially, it gets stuck in your head and you want to just listen to it.
Time.
So trying to have the idea of, wait a minute, let me try to get a message that's not very appropriate for their age, for example, was very important for me as well. And then conveying a strong message. So that's really where the song came from. And then the book came from just wanting to have a learning tool in classrooms for kids to experience. Because, like a teacher's not going to let their kid or their kids in their class listen to, rap songs during the school day. So being able to have a learning tool in classrooms was something that was important to me. So I think that's where those two things came.
Okay, so one thing that I definitely want to be able to ask you about, which I think is so cool, Time Magazine. Tell us all about it. How did that come to be?
So social media, like day and age of social media is really, really crazy. The producer who's working on this Time Kid of the Year reached out to me through an Instagram DM. So that was really crazy. They followed me around for 2 days at the Barclays, speaking to schools. So it was definitely really fun. They gave me a little GoPro and I was vlogging, on my little YouTuber. So I was vlogging. It was really, really fun. I really enjoyed the experience. And definitely just a really cool, and the kids, other kids that I now can connect with and follow and reach out to on Instagram was definitely really cool. So being on Nickelodeon, John Cena saying my name,
that was very
cool.
And that actually brings me into one of my last questions that I have for you as a DJ yourself, you've been in this game for a little while now, since you were 7 years old, the 7-year-old graduate. What would you say is some advice that you would, what's some little tips and tricks that you would give to them with starting their journey?
I think my first piece of advice that I would say is get yourself out there. And when I first started, I was doing little talent shows at schools. Like I was doing just like little events, and you never know who's watching. You never know. I could be DJing in front of 5 people, and I don't know who could be someone who works in media, someone who could work for Nickelodeon, who works in movie production. So you never know who's watching. You never know who has their eyes on you. So I definitely think that it doesn't matter. When I first started, some things I was like, this is corny. Like, why am I doing this? And with help from my parents, they're like, no, this would be good for you. And I'm so glad that I did those events, because that definitely helped me a lot. So you never know who's watching, and always put on your best attitude, your best face, even though it might be hard sometimes. Do what you love to do. And my second piece of advice, which would be my last piece of advice, is definitely if you have any passion, go for it. So these kind of go hand in hand, both of these things, So once you have your passion, then you can sort of get yourself out there. So whatever passion that you have, talk to your parents about it. Go for it. You're never too young to make a change. So I would say definitely, if it's DJing like me, rapping, writing, whatever, whether it's, doing what we do, doing what you do, even interviewing, just go for it, I like to call it YouTube University because you can find anything on YouTube. So if you want to start anything, search it up, try to get yourself out there and learn and practice because nothing's going to happen overnight. The odds of like something just going viral, it's low. So try to keep going and don't get diminished by what other people have to say, which might be hard, but keep that confidence up. So those are my two pieces of advice. If you have a passion, go for it.
Oh my gosh.
Those are my two.
That's some good advice. Like, I am so serious. I say this all of the time, especially if it's some really good advice, which you definitely just gave. If you need to rewind, if you need to, like, mentally write that down, if you need to physically write that down, if you need to put it on a vision board.
Six, on a vision board.
Then you need to do that.
And manifest it,
Yes.
Writing it down, it gets it in your head and affirmations, stuff like that.
Yeah.
You're saying, I'm going to do this and I'm going to make 6 figures and I'm going to be famous and I'm going to do this. Put it out there, you write it down. And you believe it yourself.
Yeah.
It only encourages you more and builds up that confidence.
You have to be your biggest fan sometimes, too. Like, if you don't believe in yourself, then why do you expect the rest of the world to? Thank you so much for that advice.
You.
I know that I'm going to learn from it. Like, I need to actually put that on a vision board, for sure. And that leads me into my very last thing for today. Where can everyone who is watching us today go and check out everything that you've been doing, see some of your DJing, potentially look at your book, your songs, everything? Where can people find you?
So I'm on all social medias at DJing Red. You guys can find even those old embarrassing Instagram, TikTok for all those TikTokers, fan base. I'm on Facebook, all of that. So I'm on all social medias. You can find me there. And to purchase my book, you can buy my book on Amazon and Barnes & Nobles at the Bully Stop. So reach out, buy those on Amazon, support. And there you go. DJ Annie Red.
Yes, support. I know that I'm going to go and have to purchase that book as soon as I get back in the comfort of my own home. Okay. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching. I'm Avery. She's DJ Annie Red, and we are out.
Peace.